want more of me?
Me?
Go to MeTVFresno.com for schedules, information on your favorite shows, videos, pictures, and more. Go to MeTVFresno.com today. Exclusively brought to you by Ventura TV.
Hi, I'm John Malos, and welcome to Connect with me here live on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Monday morning. It's on the air, off the presses. We have one of the most recognizable faces, one of the most recognizable people in the history of the Central Valley right here in our studio today. Your phone calls are important, 265-4331. We're back in a moment. And welcome back to the program. Hope you had a great weekend, and what a wonderful weekend it was in terms of weather to go outside and walk and play golf and do whatever you had to do. Plenty of NCAA basketball action, of course, on television as well. I mentioned this briefly on Friday, and I want to touch on it just for a moment again. Bill Dietzel, our very good friend here at Connect with Me, the Chief Master Sergeant, United States Air Force for 24 years. Unfortunately, sad to report, he passed away last week of cancer. His family, his friends were by his side. He flew in the Korean War, 36 combat missions, 16 medals. There will be a memorial for Bill Dietzel on April the 6th. All right, to our program today, on the air, off the presses. As I said in the opening, one of the most recognizable people, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet right here in the Central Valley. She came into your living room for the better part of 35 years each and every night on Channel 30. Take a look and a listen.
This is ABC 30 Action News, live at 6 in high definition with Graciela Moreno, Maureen Armstrong, Angelo Stallis with the Storm Warn 30 forecast, and Dan Taylor Sports.
The city of Fresno ranks among the nation's highest for concentrated poverty.
40% of West Fresno residents fall into that category, and with it comes increased gang activity and violence.
Action News anchor Nancy Osborne is here with how one group of pastors is working to lift people up, one child, one family at a time. Nancy?
It's a very interesting concept they're doing over there. Morning, Graciela. I spent the morning in West Fresno at the invitation of 7 men of the cloth who call themselves the Spiritual Seven. Some people call them Fresno's street saints. Well, their mission is to restore West Fresno to a healthy place for kids and families. It's lunchtime at the Bigby Villa Apartments, nestled in a neighborhood often plagued by crime and other gang activity. A free breakfast and lunch program started here on Monday. And if you'd like more information on the so-called Fresno Street Saints, log on to our website, abc30.com. Just click on See It on TV. Morning, Graciela, they have established a nonprofit organization. They're looking for volunteers, they're looking for treasure, they're looking for time and talent, and they are looking to make a difference.
Sure, great program. Thank you, Nancy.
A great introduction. You'd be hard-pressed to find someone who doesn't know who Nancy Osborne is. Let's go to the graphic. I want to show you a newspaper article that was written by Rick Bentley last September in the Fresno Bee. It was all about Nancy Osborne and her career coming to an end, deciding to retire after 35 years because of just a freak accident that happened at Channel 30. She was rushing to the studio on her way in to report on a story on the 5 o'clock news. She slipped, hit her head, she injured her head, she injured her right shoulder. She decided that it was time to retire. We're going to talk to Nancy Osborne about that and much more. Live in our studio now is the one and only Nancy Osborne, one of the best people you'll ever meet in the media. Our phone calls, 265-4331. This is a live program. You can call in and talk to Nancy live on our air today and ask her any question you want, within reason, okay? We're going to be back in just a moment with our special guest here. It's on the air, off the presses today with a very special guest, the one and only Nancy Osborne. We're back in a moment.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer. the first pulsator agitator washer. And now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean Dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Welcome back to the program. Our telephone number, and I'm going to reiterate this about maybe 4,000 times throughout the entire program today, 265-4331. Our regular viewers probably already know the number, but the one and only Nancy Osborne. Hi, Nancy. It's good to see you. How
I'm glad to be here. I'm good. I'm good. I have deficits.
You feel bad about Bill Diesel. I know.
Bill Diesel. Oh, it was not. I was expecting it.
Yeah.
You know, all of us who knew him fairly well knew that he had been ill for some time. He made it very clear to all of us. And so he's just somebody who would be seriously missed.
Yeah, I mean,
not
really
just by his friends, but by this community. He gave and gave and gave.
See, you knew him personally. I really didn't. He was on this program once last November.
Great
you knew
guy,
him for
isn't he?
30-something years, and he made you feel as if you'd known him for 30 years.
Oh, yeah, if he'd known you 20 minutes.
Yeah,
He'd known him
it's
30
amazing.
Years. Yeah,
all right.
great
You
guy.
need some Kleenex? You
I
all
guess
right?
I do.
You all right?
I'm sorry.
Lauren? Some Kleenex, please.
I wasn't thinking about that.
In the meantime, we're going to take a phone call here. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me with Nancy Osborne. How are you?
Oh, just fine, thank you. I would like to say to Ms. Osborne that I really enjoyed watching her, doing the news. I never missed her, every day, and she will be greatly missed.
Well, she's still here, and we all miss you, Nancy.
Thank you. I'm always glad to hear that the work we were doing was not only useful but entertaining, and at times just knowing that you could count on the people that I worked with and when I was there. So, and you still can.
Yeah, the viewers miss you. There is no doubt about it. I miss watching you. I turn on Channel 30. Where's Nancy? Even now. So,
everybody has to go do something else with their life at some point. And I just made the decision after having this accident that it was just too difficult to attempt to get well from that. I'm still working on that. I have physical therapy for dislocated shoulder and a whole bunch of other stuff. But basically, and if I do a little stuttering, forgive me, folks, because sometimes that does happen. And when it does, I kind of lose track because I have a brain injury that for so many years I covered people who dealt with deficits, whether it was losing an arm, losing an eye, whatever. A deficit that you have to overcome, and I've learned the hard way how hard that is. And so all I can say, if anybody out there is going through something like that, just hang in, do what they ask you to do the hard stuff, and eventually come out on the other side. That's where I am, and having a great life, retiring. I'm gardening like a mad woman, and it's just a great life. My dogs, who used to be obnoxious, are perfectly trained now.
That's because
I don't have to train anybody in the news department anymore, so I can just train my dogs.
We know that you probably miss Channel 30. You miss the people. How much do you miss it?
For the first 6 or 7 months, I missed it desperately every single day. Now, not so much. Now, I spend more time doing things for myself and my family. I see my granddaughters on a regular basis. We lived close by, but I was always busy. I'd get up in the morning, I'd be gone, 14 hours later I would come home, and then back and forth, and then Saturdays and Sundays I was doing something for somebody because somebody needed something, and all of that was wonderful. But after you finally stop, even though the stopping for me was not, I didn't plan it, once I stopped, I learned that there's other things to do besides working.
Now, I read in the article that was written by Rick Bentley last September that you had planned to retire, but this injury forced you into early retirement. Can you remember exactly what happened? I mentioned that you were rushing to the studio to put a story on the air for the 5 o'clock. What happened as far as what you can remember?
Well, I was not running, but what I call power walking, when you're just moving as fast as you can without starting to run, and came around a corner and toward the studio, and literally just my feet went out from under me, and I just went down. And ladies, you'll enjoy this. As I was going down, I thought to myself, don't land on your face. I'll knock all my teeth out. That's all I could. I was going, oh my God, save your teeth. So I turned and twisted my body like this and landed on this shoulder.
To protect your head, you turned, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I still, because the impact was so jarring, I kind of bounced back, and then I hit my head. So,
and that's
so I got a few screws loose up here, but I still have a good humor.
No, you don't.
No, I do. Ooh, yeah, I do.
Let's take a quick phone call here. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. What's your question, quickly?
I want to ask her if she has a strong family support system that helped her through this.
I certainly did. I certainly did. I have the love of my life, whose name is Sion, and so I keep it to myself. But the love of my life, as well as my daughter, and my 2 granddaughters, and my son-in-law, and a host of long-term friends in various walks of life. So yeah, I turned to everybody, and I had a terrific support system with my physicians as well.
Right, and without that support system, as we all know, you know, it would have been much more difficult to make it. It would have been much more difficult. You're so lucky to have a good support system.
Well, and lucky to have people that would come by and visit, and that was the most important thing in terms of my speech coming back, because some days the speech is really good, some days it's not, and there isn't anything you can't take. There's no pill for it.
Right.
You know, when there's a little piece missing. And what I have is a short-term memory issue. Right. So I won't remember you in 20 minutes.
Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Yes, you will.
I will. I will.
Hi. I'd like to ask her a question. As far as now that she's not part of the media, is there something that she'd like to comment on that she couldn't before when she was part of like South 30 and all
that? Yes and no.
It's only a half-hour show.
No, I would say that I think the only thing, and I would say this with regard to every television station, there is more. We see more, but we learn less, and I miss learning from television.
Yeah.
News.
You know, Pete Mijas was here, and you know Pete, he was here on Thursday, and he made a statement talking about that when you rise to the top in your profession and you're labeled with all these titles, you're afraid to ask questions because everybody expects you to know everything, and you know, it's kind of a danger zone.
Oh, I don't know. I've always, whenever I made a mistake, I just said, I'll just ask for forgiveness and hope that it comes my way.
Yeah.
But, I worked very hard to ensure that whatever I was doing, that the facts were correct, that the people were taken care of, that I can't use that word on television, but that I didn't dump on anybody purposely,
Right. All right. Another quick phone call here before we go to break. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. How are you?
Hey, good morning, John, and good morning, Nancy.
Good morning.
Couple of questions. Your legacy, what is it going to be? What is it going to say to Fresno, California? If you've thought about it.
I'd like to think that the young people that came my way learned a lot from me, and I offered any information, any help, any assistance, any coaching that I could from any person that I've ever worked with. And I think the legacy for me will be the people that come behind me who learned a little from me and got better and passed it along.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you okay? Second question: are you a spiritual person, Nancy?
Personally, yes. When I say spiritual, it may not be spiritual in the way you do. I am not someone who attends church services on a regular basis, but I do have faith and rely on it constantly.
All right. Thank you for your phone call. I appreciate it.
Thank you, John and Nancy.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to be back here on Connect with Me with Nancy Osborne. Your phone calls, we appreciate them. 265-4331. We're back right after a brief timeout.
From now on, when I sneeze, I'll try to sneeze more friendly.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified, ready, steam equipped, high efficiency Frigidaire affinity place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Frigidaire laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
And we're back on the air, off the presses. A very special guest today. We're pleased to have Nancy Osborne, the longtime news anchor, news reporter, very well respected across the Central Valley, one of the most recognizable people, of course, to ever walk in this area, and she still is, even though she hasn't been on the air for quite some time because of the injury and the retirement. Nancy, we appreciate you being here. Let me ask you something. What kind of an impact do you think you've had on the Central Valley? What kind of, in your mind, what is the biggest impact that you think you've made and contribution that you've made all these years being at Channel 30?
Well, I'd like to think that, I would like to think, thank you. Excuse me, folks, I have kind of a runny nose right today.
It's okay.
I'd like to think that, first and foremost, I'd like to think that I was good at what I did and true to what I believe, which is you tell the truth regardless of where the thing lands. If the friend that you live down the street from is arrested and you do a story, you do the story, whether it's your friend or not. If you are covering a jury trial, you make sure that everything that's said on one side or the other is as even as can be. And so I like to think that part of what I left behind, the place that I left, was that here's the way you do it. You do it right. You do it right the first time. If you make a mistake, you own up to it. If you don't know the answer to a question, then don't pretend and write it in your thing. In other words, it's got to be right, it's got to be true, and it has to be real.
In other words, what you're saying is that 35 years of anchoring and reporting, you were fair with everybody, you were honest, and you told it the way it was.
Accurately.
Accurately.
Yeah.
With the facts.
And
Just
while
give me the
telling
facts.
everybody that walks through the door to do the job that I was doing, my benchmark was, are you going to do it this way, or are you going to do it the easy way? It's real easy to
In
go
other words, are you going to do it right, or are you going to do it the easy way? You want the easy way out. There's two ways of doing it, right?
Yeah.
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 So, all right, another phone call here. Good morning. You're on with Nancy Osborne. How are you?
Good morning, John and Nancy. This is Dennis Hart from
KFSN
Dennis. Radio. I wanted to call and publicly congratulate Nancy on reaching the ranks of the retired or semi-retired. It's really nice having you with us, Nancy. And you're doing
Is there a club?
Pardon me?
Is there a club?
Yes, there is. And it's a growing
I don't go to clubs.
Join us, and it's wonderful to have you with us. I also wanted to congratulate you publicly, Nancy, for what I thought was really, and I'm serious about this, and you know this, a great career. You did wonderful things at Channel 30 over those 35 years. I was privileged to work with you a couple of times back in the 70s when we were both very much younger, and then in the 90s. And what I always liked about you was your dogged determination to make Channel 30 better and to help this community. Very few people, as you know, in television or radio, stay in one place very long. Young people tend to want to move to other places, to other cities. You stayed here. You could have moved. You could have left. You stayed and made this a better community. You informed all of us for 35 years. And, you know, being an old-time news guy like I am, I value that. You've had a great career, and I just want to tell you, you made a big impact on television news in this city for all those years, and more importantly, made a big impact on the community. Congratulations on that.
I second the motion. I could not have said it better myself. I mean,
okay,
great
now
job,
I'm blushing.
Dennis. Yeah.
Okay, people, I do have faults. Okay, I do.
You know, we should ask Dennis what retirement home he's calling from. I know.
No. Yeah, I'm calling from Clovis. My home in Clovis, as a matter of fact. But Nancy, I hope you're having a good time and doing all the things you wanted to do.
I am.
You know, Dennis is a regular guest here on Connect With Me.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
Love you, Dennis.
Nancy, I think you and I ought to co-anchor the show, as a matter of fact. Let's just give John the day off, and you and I can do that broadcast.
Okay, sure.
How about tomorrow? I need to go out and play golf tomorrow. Would you fill in? You and Nancy be here?
John,
I got bulbs to plant. I don't have time.
I've already got a golf date tomorrow, John. I'm sorry. It'll have to be Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Nancy, congratulations on, Channel 30 is losing some very important people. You, foremost among them. Angelo's about to retire. I think that's a big deal because 30 for years has been the leading newscast in this city with great people, and it's impossible to replace you. It really is.
Well, okay, maybe that's true, but that doesn't mean that there's not another person just like me coming in the door tomorrow.
Name that person.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Nancy.
I'm just saying that there. You know, when I was hired, I didn't know news reporting.
Let me tell you something. Let me be honest with you. Okay, I'm not trying to suck up to you, but can I say that? Anyway,
sure you can.
When I think of Channel 30, I think of three people. I think of Warren Armstrong, I think of Nancy Osborne, and I think of Angelo Stalis. I don't think of anybody else.
I always think of Angelo first.
Well, not in that order. Not in that. I'm just saying
the
the three people I think of are those three that I just mentioned. How about you, Dennis?
I agree. And, of course, they all have been here for many, many years. And that's been one of the keys of Channel 30's successes is that night after night for all of these years, in all of the bad news that there's been in the community, and all of the good news, you've had recognizable people that viewers could tune to. And I think that's very, very important. Channel 30's success in the ratings has been because they've been the best television newscast, the ones with the most recognizable faces. And Nancy, I know it sounds as if I'm really just trying to be nice to you. I'm really not, because you have had a great impact on this community, and you should be recognized for that. You're one of the great television anchors in the history of this city.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to think I was also one of the nicest people who lived in the city.
Yeah. You know who else I think of when I think of Channel 30? I think of Gene Hagenson for some reason.
Oh, yeah, Gene Hagenson. No, I tell you,
he's been there about 100 years,
dude
hasn't he?
Everybody should know. He's terrific. He's terrific. I mean, he's just no nonsense, great sense of humor, writes like the wind, and always gets it right. I mean, he's terrific.
Hey, Dennis, we'd love to stay on the phone with you here, but we got to take a commercial break, or Ara's going to pull the plug here, okay?
I understand. Well, Nancy, again, congratulations. It's good to see you on television again.
Okay.
All right. Maybe we can get both you and Nancy on at the same time. Anyway, we're back with Connect With Me in just a moment.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high-efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
And we're back with the one and only. There's only one, Nancy Osborne, and I wish there were many more, because there's just nobody like Nancy. I really miss her, watching her on Channel 30. But you know, you got to think back. Okay, she was there 35 years. Think back to like the mid '80s, and when they made the switch, Channel 30 did, to ABC. Watch what Nancy Osborne looked like and sounded like. Of course, we were all younger back then.
Oh, I want to see this.
I'm Nancy Osborne. We're grateful that Channel 30 has long been the #1 choice for television here in the Valley. And on Monday, September 9th, the ABC Television Network joins us at Channel 30. This station's strong local commitment to you continues with action news and Fresno's favorite shows like Jeopardy! And 360, the Action News magazine. So keep watching. What's best about television stays here on Channel 30.
Of course, Nancy, you were only about 12 years old when you were
Yeah, right.
Greenback then, right?
Actually, I was 29 when I took the job.
Really? Yeah, that was in 79, 78? I don't know.
It was a really long time ago. All I know is I was pursued by the general manager, and I said, okay, I'll take the job for 2 years, but I have to have a 3-month out if I don't like this.
Who was the GM back then? Do you remember? You don't have to tell us.
No,
Okay.
yeah, I do remember, but I can't remember his name right now.
That's okay.
Because of course I fell on my head and can't remember anything. But the point I was trying to make is that when I took the job, I really didn't intend to stay 2 years. I really intended to do 8 months and make enough money to pay off my bills for student loans. And then once I got to, and then I kind of thought, this is kind of fun, Yeah. And you get to go out and you get to tell people what to do, and then you get to ask people questions, and I'm like the questionnaire of the world. I mean, I never met a question I didn't love.
Right. And you worked with John Malos at one time, too, at Channel 30 before he moved to 47. And, we wish John the best because he hasn't been feeling well lately himself. So. Biggest story you ever covered? I know you traveled a lot, you did a lot, you covered the shuttle in Florida.
I always go back, I went twice to Cape Canaveral to see the launch, and I was down in the desert of California watching them come home, the space shuttle come home. It always is the first thing I think of. And I think it's because it really was a remarkable thing that this country actually put together. I mean, the whole. I mean, I stood in the bay of the Challenger when it was being made.
Yes.
Down in the desert, and got to do those kinds of stories, to be there when the first landing hit, and my God, it was the most amazing thing. We had been camped out on the side of this desert area where they had this landing plan, and all of a sudden they were hearing over the thing, oh my God, what a way to come to California. And it was the guy driving the thing, and it came flying in, whirling around like this, and then hit the thing and just cruised right on by.
Amazing.
The two guys got out. There was only two of them. Two of them get out, they walk out, they come and talk to us. I mean, it was magic. It was magic to be there when it happens for the first time. Yeah. Nothing better than a first time.
Most amazing person you've ever met during your 35 years as a reporter, anchor?
Oh my gosh. I'd have to say Dan Rather. I know that was kind of strange, but I did three shuttle things with Dan, and
that's when ABC was part of CBS.
Yeah, we were a CBS station, but a great guy. He's from Texas. I'm from Texas. I mean, it was just.
That's
it was nice.
Why there was a connection between you and him. Right?
Well, there was that connection and the fact that I thought he was one of the best reporters and one of the best stand-up, talk-in-your-face person I've ever seen, and I'm not good at that. I had to memorize everything because, I get all nervous and then I can't get my words out. But he was great. But I would have to say, I met Jimmy Carter, and I was amazed at his presence. Mm-hmm. I wasn't expecting to be bowled over, and I mean, I'm not even a fan, but I mean, he is so genuine and so, he's awesome.
Right.
And gosh, Billy
Crystal?
No. Billy Graham.
Billy
Graham. Oh, when he was here, I interviewed him, and we had this long conversation, and they're going like this, so we have to come back, and I'll finish later.
I know. Nancy, would you come back?
Sure.
As a guest? Thank you so much.
I will.
All right. Thank you. The great and the one and only Nancy Osborne here on Connect With Me. Thank you for your phone calls today. Hope you have a great day. We're back tomorrow on Connect With Me on MeTV Fresno.
Look at that. Isn't that a great layout? You son of a gun.
This campaign is no good.
No good!
Darren and Larry, the original Mad Men on Bewitched.